All right, we are live. Welcome to the Spin and Backfist MMA show for Tuesday, June 3rd. Happy birthday to my mom. Shout out my mom. She ain't watching, but
Happy birthday, Mom.
maybe one
Happy
day
birthday,
she'll
Mama
go
Fox.
back and watch it.
God bless.
It is Robbie Fox, Jack Mack, and Big Ev back as always. And we're also here to tell you about one of our favorite sponsors. That is Game Time. We love Game Time, and we've got UFC Newark coming up this weekend. If you're looking to go to UFC Newark, you could do it with Game Time. Also, the NHL playoffs are here. The only place to buy hard to get playoff tickets is Game Time, the official ticketing partner of Barstool Sports, with killer last-minute deals, all-in prices, views from your seat, so you can actually see what it's going to look like before you buy the ticket. And their lowest price guarantee. Game Time takes the guesswork out of buying those tickets. Prices on the app actually go down the closer it gets to puck drop or game time or showtime, whatever it may be. You could save up to 60% when buying last-minute tickets. I actually just bought my mom a birthday present with Game Time. We're going to see the Doobie Brothers in August, one of my mom's favorite bands from back in the day, Michael McDonald. So shout out Game Time for that. Take the guesswork out of buying NHL playoff tickets with Game Time. Download the Game Time app, create an account, and use code BACKFIST for $20 off your first purchase. Again, create an account and redeem code BACKFIST, BACKFIST, for $20 off. Download the Game Time app today. What time is it? Game Time. All right, so we've got some fights to talk about, some fight news to talk about. Obviously, UFC Newark this weekend. Tomorrow, going to be heading to the UFC hotel and doing some interviews with most of the main card. So check that out. Keep an eye out for it. I feel like we should start with the main event from this past weekend, the supposed main event, the scheduled main event.
We still haven't really been told what happened outside of Macy Barber in a hospital bed.
Seems crazy. There were rumors that maybe it was a seizure. It was like about to happen, and then Aaron Blanchfield and Macy Barber don't make the walk. They announced on the broadcast Macy Barber wasn't medically cleared to compete. When they said that, I knew it wasn't like, at first I was like, is she having like a panic attack in the back? Like, what's going on right now? The not medically cleared to compete makes me think it was more than that.
Yeah, I didn't, in the moment, I didn't think it was like she just didn't want to walk.
Yeah, I didn't know what
knowing her and the way she fights is her general mentality.
Yeah.
Like I would have been very surprised if that had been the case. But yeah, it definitely has been where like because the way when Aaron Blanchfield, when she said it in the post fight, like she's like, yeah, like Hunter Campbell came up and said she had a seizure or whatever. Yeah. Like she said it so like nonchalantly that I was like, did she have a seizure? Because if she had a seizure,
and then
I
said,
think
yeah, like she
would definitely
no
change.
Respect, like
for me, I think it would change my outlook on it if she had a seizure.
Yeah,
because then I felt like it was a little unfair for her to be like, yeah, like she's like sloppy or messy or whatever. Like her whole life's a mess. I'm like, yeah. I mean, like, listen, I understand the missed weight thing. You took 20% of her purse. You agreed to still fight her.
Yeah.
I thought if she actually had a seizure, I would have felt it a little unfair to be like, your life's a mess.
And I guess she was saying that because she's like, you shouldn't be like in this weight class if you can't get down to the weight. And that was, I guess, the point she was making.
Yes.
It does seem crazy to be like moments after this woman has a seizure.
And then she doubled down.
Professional.
Yeah. Down.
Oh, yeah.
In the post, like, so she did the thing with
Megan.
With Megan, and then she did the post-fight presser too. And that's when she said her life's a mess. And then also, Aaron, she was just very unapologetic. Sorry. She was asked, would you have a rematch?
Yeah, she said no.
She was like, no chance. My team said right away, no, we're not doing the rematch.
Which is, I think, crazy.
I don't know. It was going to be I thought it was.
Well, now now I need the fight.
Yeah.
Because the way she's talking so zesty.
I know.
And also the fight just in the division just makes so much sense.
Yeah. Oh my God, we just got a donation. We don't get donations often.
Live.
Derek Campo, $2, $1.99. What section you guys sitting on in Saturday? I don't know if we know.
Bob, I don't want to be the DraftKings. Shout out DraftKings. Has been very fortunate. I believe we're in a suite.
Oh, wow. Very nice.
That's what I was told. Shout out DraftKings. Very much appreciate
So I'm also credentialed. I got to figure out.
Yeah, you could
I could probably go back and forth.
I'm sure you can with I know me and Jerry and shout out Travi will be there as well.
Nice.
Doing some social
Good
for
crew.
us.
Good crew.
Yeah.
Yeah, so say hi if you see any of us in the building on Saturday night. Should be a good card. I mean, this entire month, somebody said in the chat when we kicked it off, it was Bryant. He said the month of the year is here, boys.
Oh, yeah.
You're right about that. I know people were complaining about the card last week or the one when it came off the week off after Memorial Day, whatever. There's been some random cards here and there that have been lackluster. This month, is not one of those months.
I'm not even willing to say, but I think this is the summer. Just the summer.
True. The whole summer is great.
They do
the
great.
New Orleans card is crazy.
I mean, the Chicago card. I mean, just that.
The Nola card needs some.
I figured we were going to get to that.
True.
I think it needs
just
another fighter too.
It
needs like one more. I think it needs that good co-main to get you really get you fired up about it.
That main event is enough to sell me on the whole card, though.
Definitely. I'm debating going. I think I'm going to go to either New Orleans or Chicago. I'm going to one of them. I'm not
that's
sure
going to be on the whole environment. The Dustin retirement. They're working on a banger of a video package to play after he's done. That whole thing's going to be awesome.
They talked about. Do you think Holloway will let him walk out last?
Yeah,
because Holloway is ranked higher. So
I don't think Holloway would care.
I'm saying it basically has to be on Holloway to throw the alley-oop. If it's up to him, he can.
I think he would do that.
Wants, walk out last.
I think Holloway's the guy that would be absolutely.
I would think so too, because he's the guy. He'll fight under any circumstance. He doesn't care. Oh, I have to sit in the cage for an extra 5 minutes.
This is also Holloway saying yes to take this fight in New Orleans. I hope it came with. My retirement fight will be in Hawaii. He's been begging for the UFC to go to Hawaii since I think he first
really
fought Connor. It's
really hard to fight there.
I know
they've talked about it. They said logistically everything, the travel and all the equipment, it would just be brutal.
And they say all that.
Everywhere else you could drive it, you can trucks.
Bellator's done events there and they've been amazing. Now the arena, I don't know if it's a 20,000 seat arena. It might be 10. Might be something like that. But those events there were awesome. Alimale McFarland headlining, people going nuts for her. I think Holloway and Hawaii would be scenes.
There's enough other Hawaiian fighters to make it
you could fill out the card.
Yeah, absolutely.
What else do we got? Bryant, boots on the ground for the Chicago card will be my first event. That's awesome.
Dude, no better live sporting event in sports.
Go to both Ev. You're a big baller.
I wish. I want to. I don't know if I can work it logistically.
I don't know what disappointed me most, not seeing the main event or WWE letting R-Truth go. Very sad stuff. Genuinely insane in the year 2025 that we have to celebrate non-Apex shows. No one even asks Dana anymore at the post-fight pressers. He has no excuses now. I don't really even know if it's an excuse, but it's just it's the overhead. It costs them nothing to put on events at the Apex, and they can only make money. They also have a certain amount. I'm not trying to defend it, but they have a certain amount of dates they have to hit. For ESPN. So I don't know.
Did you see the report that came out about the media today?
Maybe not. I don't know.
So the negotiations that are further.
The media rights. Yeah,
is with ESPN. So the idea that ESPN is 100% out. I think there was some speculation because they deleted a lot of the things.
The catalog, right?
The catalog of the specifically fight nights in the past off of ESPN Plus, and then Netflix is also in negotiations, but not as far as long on as Netflix. And then Warner Bros. May be one that's
which would be Max, I think.
Yeah, I think that's Max.
Yeah.
I'll be honest. I think ESPN Plus is fine. I think people just complain to complain. That's one of my gripes. I don't.
Yeah, I go back and forth.
I mean, I guess we did
had a
lose
lot of issues with it.
There was a fight. There was a pay-per-view this year that we missed 2 fights on.
Yeah.
So I guess there is.
I was having issues even on Saturday with it, to be honest. But that being said, Netflix shit the bed with Jake Paul.
Yeah,
I think
people went nuts about that. It was really bad.
And then I know that's also kind of an anomaly of an event. So many people were trying to tune into that. I know not as many people would have been driving the traffic up for Blanchfield versus Macy Barber, but who knows? It's one of those things where it's wherever it lands, we're going to be fine. They're going to make sure that UFC is available to watch.
Yeah, I bet. Yeah, it will be available to watch without a doubt.
It'll be fine.
I selfishly kind of want to say an ESPN Plus because I know I'm going to keep it regardless because of low level college basketball and stuff like that.
Yeah. Football.
And low level football too. But this is one more thing that just really makes me feel like I get my bang for my buck.
Yeah. I would
being such a big UFC fan. I know, all right, every Saturday I can at least watch the card on.
Then there's also the chance that they are kind of doing NFL, NBA, or actually every sport thing where maybe fight nights are on one thing, pay-per-views are on another.
That's a good point because I thought a while ago that was more likely, and then the closer got, I thought that was less likely. But that would make sense.
Orland reported this, who's a sports business reporter. He's top tier. So I think it's very well trusted. I forgot who tweeted out. One of the big guys tweeted out. I'm sure Ariel will talk about it too.
Kind of like WWE currently has They have pay-per-views on Peacock, Raw, and Netflix.
Yeah, and
I could definitely see them doing like fight nights on like Max or Netflix, and then like pay-per-views on ESPN Plus.
Yeah.
I could see that.
Or that like ESPN gets that, and then ESPN gets like a few ABC cards a year.
Yeah.
Probably something like that.
Yeah, that makes sense.
But Warner Bros. They said Warner Bros. Is the surprise entry and one that you have to keep an eye on.
Well, they're the ones that also just got the rights for AEW. They're trying to get into like the live sports.
They had Bellator and PFL. They had
Max.
Max had them. Yeah.
PFL new. Actually, we'll talk PFL in a little bit now that thinking about the structure of the show. But Max has had a lot, and they've done. I think Max does some other sports things too. Like maybe some
Max
sport,
it's
soccer
like Max
or
and
something.
Bleacher Report. Also,
Yeah, that's what it is. Yes, I think USA Soccer's been on there.
Yeah,
USA Women's Soccer. Max coverage of French Open has been awesome. Yeah, they do French Open. Okay, so there you go.
John Jones, Tom Aspinall. Like, I feel like we're broken records every week we come, and it's like, I don't know. John is pushing it off. Tom's saying whatever.
Tom's saying he's retired, but Tom like he's done.
And John said like we're gonna wait for the UFC to make their announcements, which is just like such a motherfucker move. Where it's like, bro, we know you're playing us. We know there's not an announcement to make right now.
Tom saying it the way he said it made me believe like he's basically now taking the stance like he went on DC and Chael's show, and basically said like I've moved on, like I'm.
He wants to fight twice.
He said I'm the undisputed champ, and he's retired. Any and all challengers, we're not holding up the division anymore. Like bring them on. Like,
so they announced UFC Paris, but that's not a pay per view, so I don't think Aspinall would be on that. So I'm trying to think of you could really put Aspinall on anything. He's such a big draw.
Absolutely.
And then obviously if he wants to fight twice, maybe he gets added to a summer card. I mean, is it crazy to say he gets added to the New Orleans card?
Aspinall? I think so. I think
I don't think
I think they wouldn't use him. He's a main event guy, like pay-per-view main event. I don't think they'd use him.
But then which one would he use? Where would he be a main event?
I think probably October or
New York,
November. Yeah, or New York. I think they would do. He fought New York before.
He doesn't want to wait that long. It's crazy that he would be on the shelf that long because he wants to fight twice this year.
Yeah, because at this point, I guess he could do September. Why not? It's not Noche anymore.
True.
He could be the September headliner.
San Antonio. Mitt Romney.
Or you want to know who's going to be September headliner though? It's probably Poetan.
Yeah,
because he got bumped from Chicago and he's pissed.
Yeah,
so I'm sure they'll do that. Him and Clay probably September.
It's just saying he's
Poetan,
retired.
Aspinall, heavyweight.
Imagine after a lose.
Well, the funny is, somebody pointed this out. I forget who. I wish I could give him credit, but they were like, "It's so funny to think about how John's been acting. If Poetan beat Ankalaev, Jones would be fighting Poetan, for like a mega fight right now."
I don't know if that's true. You
don't think he would have taken that?
I think it would have been so easy for John.
Dana was just very clear when John and Stipe fought
that Dana didn't want.
Dana was very, very. I never almost seen him be this direct, even with John sitting right next to him. Was like, Tom Aspinall is fighting the winner of this fight no matter what.
Yeah.
And listen, could he go back on that? No doubt. I just believe that the Aspinall thing, even at that point, like remember that whole week how crazy it was?
Yeah.
Because people were furious, like, why is this fight happening? Like, Aspinall should be fighting right now, not Stipe. I think he had enough with like, you can't just fight a guy that was middleweight.
We're 3 days away from the mass unfollow too.
Oh yeah.
Oh, I forgot about
on June 6th. Apparently, everyone's doing the mass unfollow
of John Jones. I'll be on
all social media platforms. If I was able to follow him, I would unfollow him, but
I will be unfollowing him from the Spinning Back Fist account, everything. I mean, I'll find a way to unfollow him on things I don't even follow him on.
How about the weird John McCarthy story, too?
That was one that was like,
that was strange.
John Jones could sue for defamation. That's one hell of a story.
I was thinking that. Obviously, like, knowing about lawsuits is like John McCarthy telling that story in his podcast. I was surprised.
Because
it's not, I don't think.
And it wasn't a fighter. Like
maybe?
McCarthy saying it's like a little bit like fighters could be like, oh, it's just busted balls. It's just a story within like the John McCarthy saying that's a
weird. Basically said he like touched a commission member inappropriately.
Yeah. Like, and then everyone's like, oh, this confirms he's gay.
Yeah.
Which I mean,
does not confirm.
No, we were not saying
we are not saying that
because he's married. He's married.
Yes, with kids.
No one's ever been married with kids ever came out gay.
That
Ah.
is true.
Never happened.
Well,
Never.
we're just saying,
But I'm just all saying. I'm just saying things that have happened in John Collins, for example, a
yeah,
former NBA player. He did it.
he
I'm
jade
just
him
saying it
over
happened.
the pants.
Shut up.
That's Hot Billy. That's Hot Billy. So Hot Billy's our Centel, who I got Centel this weekend.
Yes, you did.
MMA Centel, which it has to be. People just make accounts with that in it.
It's
other
not
sports
guy.
aren't. They're not ready for it.
Is it a
you realize how
WNBA
sharp
one him,
NBA
though?
fans are.
Or is the WNBA one him too, or no?
He does WNBA stuff on NBA
On his
Centel.
own. Gotcha.
I'm sure there's a WNBA Centel account, but the ones that like I made a video on, people have made that have discussed are his account when he was like Kelsey Plum and Cameron Brink got into a fight because they wore the same outfit to the game.
Yeah,
Honestly,
I saw
the one that they got fined $30 each, just legitimately like
Yeah.
fun, like I almost
I
spit out my
felt so
drink when I read
stupid
that.
this weekend, but I just saw a headline that like it was the lowest viewership, 11,000 people watched,
They
and I
made
was
a
like,
graphic too.
in my mind, I was like, "There's no way that number got out, right?" And I was like, "I don't know, there was big stuff on, but no way the number got out."
That's gonna be
I sent it to the group
hilariously
chat.
low considering it was on like main ESPN.
Yeah,
11,000 viewers on
Yeah.
on like normal ESPN. Like there's no NBA,
The
no
brain
like
fart
hockey,
moment for
like
me. I don't
no
blame
other
it to be
sports.
smart. Brain fart moment for me. I realized as soon as it said Sentinel. All right, let's also tell everyone about another sponsor here at Spin and Back.
Babs already mentioned them.
Yeah, also the people that are sending us to the UFC this weekend. It's DraftKings. Is there a better sequel than the original? Is the sequel better than the original? We're about to find out at UFC 316. It's a rematch 9 months in the making. Obviously, everyone looking forward to the main event. Sugar Sean versus Merab. Get in on all the action at DraftKings Sportsbook, the official sports betting partner of the UFC, also the official sports betting partner of Barstool Sports. It's a huge night of fights headlined by the rematch between Dvalishvili and O'Malley. It's weird that it has that written. Usually we just say Merab. But as O'Malley looks to avenge the unanimous decision that saw Merab take the bantamweight title back in September, it's going to be a great night of fights. It's going to kick off this great month of fights, this great summer of fights. And if it's your first time betting on the UFC at DraftKings, it's easier than you think. Just pick something simple, like bet on a fighter to win. Make your pick. That's all there is to it. And if you're new to DraftKings, here's your shot at cashing in right now. New customers bet $5 to get $300 in bonus bets if your bet wins. UFC 316 and DraftKings, one night only for a shot to win some cash. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now and use code BACKFIST. That's code BACKFIST for new customers to get $300 in bonus bets if your bet wins when you just bet $5. Only on DraftKings, the crown is yours.
Shout out DraftKings.
All right,
Legends.
shout out DraftKings.
I'm so excited.
Pull up the card. I know, I'm very excited as well. The last newer card was that Poirier and Islam.
Yep.
Great.
Remember that card? The card sucked.
True.
But the main event was.
But
excellent.
I look back on that night.
It really is how it's because I was talking to a few people about it last, and they were like, "Oh, like, because the one before that was the Cejudo Aljamain, which also was like whatever."
Yeah.
And that one really lost its steam because Charles. I remember
Yes.
Charles was supposed to be on it. He got hurt, and then they got Gilbert and Bilal like last minute to kind of like make up for it.
Okay.
But it still wasn't like Charles was like the draw. So I think this is pretty good. Like,
That's funny. In my mind, I'm like, what a great card that was last time. And you're right. It was.
I remember I brought like one of my good friends from college who had never been to like a live fight before, and he's obviously a big MMA guy. And we were saying like it was just so many decisions.
Decision after
decision. But then the main event was like a classic, so it worked out.
And the crowd during the main event was insane.
Oh, I mean, Poirier defended a takedown. Also, like Trump came in, it was like he had like 15 minutes standing ovation.
Yeah.
Like it was just mayhem.
Cannes Film Festival.
Absolute mayhem.
All right. So this weekend we kick off the card with Quillian Salkilld versus Yanal Ashmouz. Ashmouz is plus 370. Is it Salkilld? Is that how you say his last name?
I think Salkilld or
Salkilld. Minus 485 in this fight.
Yeah, I mean, I think Salkilld should roll. We saw him take the soul of the king of India.
Yeah,
Jubilee.
Mike Breeden broke him, and then Salkilld just
murdered him in 10 seconds.
He threw one punch. He's not even like he's more like a submission guy.
I like this guy a lot. I think he's actually pretty damn good. This is, I mean, I want to know when he got to America because I mean it's a long trip.
Yeah.
but I think he's pretty safe here. I've put him in a parlay. He's a dog. He's actually quite popular. There was a edit of him that went viral on Instagram and TikTok, and a lot of people find him quite attractive. So he has that really like Australian look though, kind of with the
big
mustache. But I'm excited to see him in further UFC fights, including this one, and I think he's pretty safe here.
So that's also it's listed as the first fight on DraftKings. On Tapology, it's listed as the second fight. They're saying that the Mederos versus Choinski fight is going to be first. Not quite sure about that, but we're going to go based on what DraftKings is saying.
Yeah, let's just
Usually
we're going on DraftKings order.
Yes. Next on the DraftKings order is Jekka Saragih versus Ju Sang Yu. I didn't realize the first 3 fights super wide lines, like
a
lot of big
470.
lines. Yeah,
plus
definitely. I mean, even the main card definitely.
Yeah, true. A lot of them. Yeah, sheesh. Hopefully, a lot of finishes. That means
this one less. I agree with Jack on the first one. I kind of, even though Ashmouz I actually don't think is terrible, but I think Salkilld might just be pretty good. This one I'm very like, I'm not super opinionated on it, to be honest.
Ju Sang Yu, I really knew like nothing about. Then I was reminded after doing some research on him. Dana saw him fight in Korean Zombies MMA organization. Because I was like, man, he didn't fight in the Road to UFC or Dana White's Contender Series or Ultimate Fighter. So I was like, like where'd this guy come from? And then I realized he was with Korean Zombies promotion, which is new. I think it's probably on UFC Fight Pass. I'm not gonna bet this. I think Jekka is awful. Like he's like not good. He's from Indonesia.
He was a massive favorite and got submitted by Weston Wilson.
Yep. And then Jekka. So I mean, Ju Sang, he seems pretty good.
I'm not touching it with.
I'm not touching this
not
one
knowing
either,
anything.
But I'm not like
a wide line.
Yeah, if you come from a country that's even close to India, so Indonesia, like I'm not betting you.
It's a steady rule.
Road to UFC, there was an India, like the best Indian MMA product ever. Road to UFC semifinals last or 2 weekends ago. Got ran through.
Damn.
I mean, that's Jubilee. Like Jubilee, he got absolutely dog walked by a guy who's not in the UFC anymore.
Andy Hickey said that India is not a fighting country. And you know Andy Hickey, right?
Yeah.
He said like India is not a fighting country. You'll never have a good UFC fighter ever or boxer.
Who was the guy that won the PFL tournament? He was an Indian guy, one of the first PFL tournaments. Remember him?
Forget his name.
Came out with like a scepter.
He did. He did.
I feel like crazy. I feel like
WWE.
They're all like. I feel like they're all like transplants though. Like any guys like Indian good fighters, like they all grew up like not in. They all grew up like somewhere else.
Was it this guy? Was it Vikas Singh Rahul?
That's an Indian name.
Yeah. Super Indian name.
He won the PFL championship.
I want to say they had an Indian champ at some point. Indian PFL.
Yo,
champion.
PFL, we love you, PFL. We need to be.
Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm wrong.
Are you thinking of what's his name from WWE? My goat with the Singh brothers. What was his name?
Jinder Mahal.
Jinder Mahal was the goat.
Jinder
Mahal was the goat.
You know what made me laugh though? Speaking of,
he's from Canada, and they were like, "No, he's our Indian champ."
Like Indian combat sports athletes, you could say. I saw a list the other day of the only like WWE wrestlers to ever have above 10 million Instagram followers, and it's like John Cena, The Rock, Logan Paul. They count. You know, it's like people that everyone, Randy Orton or whatever. And then I said the Great Khali.
Yeah.
Like, holy shit, the Great Khali. Respect.
Well, that guy who's won the chess tournament or the chess game against Magnus.
Oh yeah,
he probably already has like 3 million Instagram followers.
True. That clip is amazing. All right, next fight on the card: Ariane De Silva versus Kong Wang. Kong Wang minus 535 in this fight.
Jinder Mahal, the biggest Indian export. Yep, he was the GOAT. The Singh brothers were legit my favorite faction in WWE history.
They were Randy Orton RKOing them every week.
Yeah. Those guys just showed up to get fucked up. Okay. Well, Kong Wang. She's like, there's like a lot of hype with her. She comes with like the face paint.
Yeah.
She goes crazy. She's lost. But her most recent victory was our most recent fight. She got the win. I think the line's a little too wide here. Like, I think she can get cracked, and I think Ariana can do that. Robbie's still trying to find this PFL Indian champion.
I swear he exists.
No, but I was thinking maybe something here. Kong's not bad though. Like she's actually entertaining to watch fight for a women's MMA
No,
fighter.
she'll last a long time in the UFC. She's just a fun fighter.
Yeah, 100%.
Because there'll be some women that they throw her away that she knocks out.
Yeah.
And then she'll also get into some wars that she'll get cracked and then submitted like she did in that Shanghai card or whatever.
Yeah.
I think she'll end up with a couple of those too. Like she'll definitely get fraud checked.
And she's like the idea of like a Chinese fighter is just huge for the UFC. Obviously, they've had success with them before, but more of those fighters is something that any huge organizations they see and they think, okay, this is something we want. So
they could use some female action fighters.
Yeah,
so that's gonna when they're just like kill or be killed. Like they need more. They don't have a ton of those.
Yeah.
Oh, it was Macau. Shout out Nathan.
Yeah.
Macau.
Not Shanghai, Macau. Yeah.
Macau. Yeah. Macau.
That was.
I knew it was in China.
Yeah.
I knew it was disgustingly early in the morning. I was just watching.
Our goat fought on it. What's her name? Fuck.
The doctor. The doctor.
The other goat. No, who's our other goat?
Pooja Tomar?
No, the girl who's lost. Pooja Tomar's the goat. Talk about India. Who's the girl who lost every fight she ever had in the UFC? Got finished every single time. Reed beat her.
I
she
know.
was the goat. Oh my god.
Asian girl or no?
Yes, Asian. She's Chinese. Worst fighter of all time.
Elise Reed beater.
I know who you're. I just can't think of her name.
Jin Yu Frey?
No. Maybe
not yet. Jinyu Frey lasted a little longer.
You
She
can say
lost
this.
a lot.
a UFC fighter woman who got finished in every fight. This girl, she never saw the scorecard. She was the goat. Oh my god.
I don't know. I don't see it on.
Oh, who it was?
Was she the one that was it Mario Bueno Silva? One of them? Not her. No, somebody knocked her out like stupid.
And this girl's unbelievable. She had the hair. She had kind of like a Beatles haircut.
Was it definitely on the Macau card?
That's starting to ring a bell.
No, I know who he's talking.
No. This woman's unbelievable.
Hold on, I'm gonna get it.
China's woman's pound for pound.
Hold on, I'm gonna get it.
She had an unreal name too.
No, I'm gonna get it. I'm gonna get it.
We're close. Stay tuned. Drum roll, please.
I don't think it was on that card, Jay.
It wasn't. I'm
that okay.
But she was on the other, maybe the Shanghai. No, she was on the card that Korean Zombie's last card.
So Singapore. This now we're on the.
This is great radio.
Yeah, just like silent. Everyone's Googling.
You're listening on the podcast feed. Yeah, we're looking it up. I'm still trying to find this PFL fighter.
Liang Na.
Yep, she was the goat. The Liang Na was the absolute goat. She never saw the scorecard.
She got KO'd by JJ Aldrich in the second round.
I messed up JJ Aldrich and Elise Reed. I think if you go to her Tapology, she only found or got to the scorecards once in her career.
Okay, no.
Remember, she was the first fight back at Jacksonville in front of the entire crowd, and it was like the craziest back and forth fight of all time in 2021.
So I have some good news about her. So she went 0-4. She didn't go 0-4 in the UFC. She did get finished all 4 times, but then she won via calf slicer in
oh shit
on her regional scene.
She's still fighting. We need her back. PFL, sign her.
And she has a fight upcoming next week.
Where?
Oh,
let's see the promotion.
Told you it was a great summer of fights coming up.
JCK, it's called.
JCK.
It's a Chinese organization.
Okay, all right. Shout out her. She's a fighter, man.
She in her 4 fights. I was Silvana Gomez Juarez. That's the knockout I was thinking of. Like I was on the right track.
And that was the fight.
She knocked her out stupid.
And
I remember because I remember joking to you guys. She shot a takedown from so disgustingly far away that Silvana Gomez literally just threw a hook and just murdered her.
But don't you remember that fight? It was the first fight back. It was in Jacksonville. This was the first fight back in front of fans in the UFC.
Ariane Carnelosi. She lost by second round ground and pound.
Yeah, she was,
and then she got knocked out by Silvana Gomez in 1 minute and 22 seconds. She got finished by JJ Aldrich at the end of the second round, and she made it with Ivana Petrovich to the third round, and got arm triangled.
I found the fight I was talking about.
Who is it?
Was not a PFL champ, was a one champ. That's why I kept
Oh.
looking up PFL. He was the one heavyweight champ. Arjan Bular, Arjan Singh Bular, his name is. And much like Jinder Mahal, he's a Canadian who is of Indian descent. Actually says on his personal life Wikipedia page, he has developed a friendship with fellow Indo-Canadian Jinder Mahal.
Oh, so they're friends.
They're
That's actually
friends.
pretty
How about that? There you go. All right, that was dry.
She Ming, the
Crazy.
doctor.
I
We
knew
need
it
to
was
see her soon.
We do. I loved her story.
The one that her family
But
doesn't know.
Yeah, I guess maybe they found out when she was on
And
pay per
then
view.
Laura Cinco-
She landed up like a knockout of the year.
Yes, it was amazing.
as a massive underdog who was giving like a foot in
Wasn't
a
she like
region
plus
height.
400?
She was a huge.
And
Yeah.
I think she was like plus 2,500 on the live line because she
She
was
was
down
she
2
was losing.
Yeah,
She was
yeah.
down 2-0. I mean, the girl was a foot taller than her.
Yeah, yeah. Markel Mederos versus Mark Choinski. Mark Choinski plus 185. Markel Mederos minus 225. When's the last time we saw Mederos?
Mederos was supposed to fight last weekend, but then
Yeah.
pulled out. He fought. We saw him recently.
He's 2-0 in the UFC, but they're
I was
not
gonna
like
say it was
great
fairly
wins.
recently, right?
He beat Landon Quinones, who was on like the Contender Series, or not Contender Series, on Ultimate Fighter.
Yeah. And then he beat Austin Hubbard.
That's who I think Hubbard
March,
at this point.
at the end of
I think
March.
Hubbard stinks. He's just old
Yeah.
and not good. Like we saw Halabal finished him. Like
Yeah.
he's not. I think Choinski obviously is making his debut. He's a wrestler. I just don't think Mederos should be laying minus 200
Yeah.
to like Choinski. Like he's got a wrestling background. I'm not going to sit here and act like I'm like super well versed in
Yeah.
Choinski, but I watched a little bit. Like he's a good wrestler. It's more of a submission threat. Like, but he
What a
wants
strange name
he wants to get it to the mat. Where I think if he can get it to the mat, he could like this line could look like ridiculous.
Yeah.
So I think there's a chance that he's
Maybe
better.
worth 185.
So
then.
Chonsky has been fighting on Anthony Pettis'
Yeah, he's their champ.
organization.
Yeah.
He was their champ. Late notice, so that's always kind of a downside. But he was a wrestler, like I've said, great cardio. He's pretty good. I took him plus 210 last night,
I think I got 205.
and it's down to plus 185. Definitely looks like the grappling upside's too much for me.
Yeah.
To pass up on. So, and I don't think Mederos is that good.
Then we've got Chaos Williams versus Andreas Gustafsson. Chaos Williams minus 192, Andreas Gustafsson plus 160. I think I probably like Chaos Williams there.
I think this is a great fight.
Mm.
The little
it
I've
is.
seen like from Gustafsson, just went back and watching a few things. Definitely like an action fighter,
Mm.
volume striker. Like definitely can hit hard. I think this is a fight that's going to be very just like a fun aesthetic fight. Like I wouldn't be shocked if someone. I mean, Chaos is crazy power.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be shocked if he landed a
Gustafsson was
knockout.
supposed to fight last weekend.
Yep.
And he put on his Instagram story in his like shorts preparing for the fight where they do in front of like the green screen. He was like game plan full retard mode.
Oh
He
my
put
God,
that
he said
on
that?
his story. And he does.
Action. That's how he fights.
He
does.
fights. I don't want to say that, but he fights out of his mind. And Chaos can do that as well.
Gustafsson's nickname is Bane. Just Bane.
No, Gustafsson reminds me a lot of the guy who beat Aswell in the Contender Series.
Bogdan Brad or Grad.
Yeah, it's just like he's going out there and someone's gonna die, and he may die doing it, but he doesn't care. So I'm excited for this one. This is a banger of a fight.
The only thing I would say, going quote full retard mode, could be a bad idea versus Chaos Williams.
I
Hell
agree.
of a welcome to the
Because
UFC
Chaos
fight.
Williams hits like a fucking truck.
So it's under
Yeah.
1.5 plus 120 right now. I'm maybe like if you're looking for a fight doesn't go the distance parlay combination.
Yeah.
I like
You
that.
could find something there, or just take under 1.5 here, like Gustafsson. This is a really good fight though.
I like
It may
that
be
under
too
1.5.
much too soon
Yeah.
for Gustafsson though, because Chaos is legit.
He's had some really good fights with some good guys. I mean, like him and like Randy Brown had an incredible fight. He knocked him down in the third round. Like he's fought. Obviously, he came. Who did he just get choked out by again? He got submitted bad by
Bonfim.
that's who it was. Bonfim, who
Mhm.
obviously that one he just got the Wonder Boy fight.
Yeah.
But I think that was a bad. I don't know. I like Chaos. I've been a Chaos guy from early.
This is the second time he's been in Jersey because we saw him there once.
He fought Bedoya, and it was
a really close fight.
Really close fight. Bedoya fought really well in that fight.
The next fight, heavyweight fight, Sergey Spivac versus Waldo Cortez Acosta. How much respect do you give Waldo at this point?
I think a lot. I think Spivac is getting old on the older side.
Not necessarily in this fight, even like as a whole. Do we think he's like really, really good?
Define really good. I don't think he's like top 5. I think he's like a top.
Is he a top 15?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do. I think he's definitely a top.
Which
15.
doesn't say much.
It does. I think I would go as far to say I would say he's
For
top
heavyweight.
Yeah.
I would say he's top 10, but I think that's kind of where
I mean, this is a great litmus test for him.
I think he can win. I think he's gonna win. I think he's gonna be a bad matchup for Spivac with his like length and size and striking.
Yeah.
Like I think Waldo, I think his takedown defense is good enough to hold up.
Yeah, so I think he may end up getting taken down a lot, but he likes to get up, and he's very good at his get up jitsu.
Yeah.
If he doesn't die in the first round, I think he can really put a pressure on. I mean, he doesn't necessarily have like knock you out hands, but he's going to put the pressure on you. He's going to have you on your back foot, and if it's the second round and Spivac misses a takedown, he's going to be tired. He's going to be huffing and puffing. I took Waldo plus 124. It went down to like around plus 100. Now it's back up to plus 120. I still like him at that plus 124.
Spivac really Action Bronson's favorite fighter?
He might.
That seems so ridiculous to me. It's just so random.
Bronson would have like a random person like that. He would like.
That sounds like a Action Brunson line.
Yeah,
like chilling in like whatever
sauna with
like chilling and bubba gum shrimp and taco.
Watching Spivac
Spivac.
It's Waldo's record is interesting to me because a lot of his UFC wins
are decisions, right?
And also like aren't against the most impressive opponent. Like Andre Arlovsky in 2024 is
I think he's I just think
Chase Sherman, Jared Vandera, like
I just think here he'll use like his reach and cardio. I think should be an advantage, like his size.
Now I am concerned that Saragih just goes out there and just ragdolls him, but I just it's possible to. You are right though, Robbie. I was gonna say, well, like look at Spivac's wins in the UFC. Tai Tuivasa in 2019, Bandera, Olenek, Greg Hardy, Augusto Sakai, Derek Lewis, Marcin Tybura. That was such a bullshit armbar. I don't know how that even fucking happened, but it did. Anyway, Spivac, this is a good fight though. If it gets into this, I think a lot of Spivac's win equities in the first round.
That's fair. I think that's fair. It's also just seeing how easily he gets these takedowns. Because if it plays out in the feet, I think Waldo's got him. I think
Waldo's so good at getting back up, and we know that judges don't like if you get takedowns without any action. Pick Spivac against Almeida.
Got smoked. Almeida
is Quilly like the brother of Hot Billy?
I don't know. I can't tell.
But I weirdly there's something in me that rings a bell with like Action Bronson saying Spivac's name at like some point.
That's funny.
I don't know why. There's something about me that like the light bulb's like flickering a little bit.
Then we've got Murzakanov versus Brenson Ribeiro. Murzakanov minus 575.
I mean, he was supposed to be betting Johnny Walker, which would have been an awesome fight.
Yeah.
I actually respect Ribeiro's become that guy in the UFC. He's just down to fight anyone. I actually
you don't even touch that, right?
I parlay piece Azamat.
True.
I think it's fair. True. Like I think if you want some action, because I like Ribeiro. Like he's got some power. Like he does some things well, but I think Azamat's just like it's like kind of a levels fight. I just think he's not.
What happened to Walker?
He's injury, I think, because it was supposed to, I think it was Walker fell out, and then it was supposed to be maybe even someone else.
Yeah.
And then Ribeiro kind of was like the replacement of the replacement.
I can't find anything about Spivac and Brunson. I think Azamat like deads him. Just connects at one point and kills him. Now, there is a huge age gap. It's Ribeiro. He's not bad. So I did put Azamat in a parlay with Sakad and then Kevin Holland, who's coming up. So, but I think Azamat's just so much better. He can kill you at any point, but does his age catch up to him here? I guess we'll see.
Quilly says, "I've never steered you wrong, boys. Trust. We trust you."
I do think I feel like he has.
I mean, I do trust
PC Strickland in the chat. What's up, PC Strickland?
Shout out PC Strickland.
What's up, Jesse Adams in the chat? Dan in the chat.
No Apex until what? August?
Yeah, I think so.
Probably, yeah.
August 3rd, I think.
We got all these like live fight nights.
Bruno Silva versus Joshua Van. Joshua Van minus 625.
This line's crazy.
That is crazy. That's
I love
wide.
Van, and I
I do
agree.
too,
I think it's like we just saw him get clipped by Charles Johnson, knocked out. And Bruno Silva's a guy like if he does it like that, he definitely can clip you. I just feel like they're both like even Van's not like a big 125er. I love Van. I think his hands are great.
Same.
Like
I'm a
hand
Van
speed's
guy.
awesome. I think he's got a big
I feel like
future
this
in
could
the
be
division.
minus 325. Like, I feel like you could cut that almost in half.
No, I thought that's what it would be. I thought Van would be minus like 300.
Yeah.
I'm really like him. If Silva stays like plus 450, I almost feel like I'll want action on it just because I'll be there. Like I almost feel like I'll have to.
Yeah.
Like at least just like small. Like I just feel like that's a crazy or even like bet Bruno by like knockout. Like just like I don't know. He's got power. Like I just think it's a crazy. I was shocked by the line. I'm still shocked by it. But I liked. As a Van fan, I like that they respect Van that much.
Yeah, no, that's I guess round 2, round 3 Van is always
even that. I think it's gonna be plus like 400 and 600.
Yeah.
Because Bruno's definitely a guy to get, but like Bruno's got a lot of power, man. Like I just feel like it's a scary, like you're gonna be holding your breath.
Yeah, Bruno has a lot of power. The under here is plus under 2.5 plus 154.
I don't hate that. Bruno can take a beating though.
Yeah.
Like Manel Kopp beat the brakes off him before they stopped it.
That is true. I think that's a good fight to end the prelims with, though.
It is great fight.
Yeah.
Like it's like guaranteed action.
I just looked up this first fight on the main card to see if it ever got booked prior. Should have done it before the show, but I can't believe Luque and Holland have never been booked to fight each other in all the time they've been.
Well, you know what it was? Holland was in 185 for his like the Luque's like really good years where he was like in the top like 10, top 5.
He was going back.
He was always 185, and then he kind of started to slide.
Yeah,
as Holland was almost like moved to 170, was like trying to climb up.
Just feels like a fight that could have happened already.
Definitely. I'm glad it's happening now because I think it's going to be a fun fight.
Yeah, Luque plus 215, Holland minus 265. It's like again, like I don't know what version of Holland is showing up, but I would imagine if he cares, Holland will win this fight.
I think
these are two guys you almost like.
Yeah,
you get weary of what version. True. But I like Holland though. I think he's just more athletic. I think Luque's like more fight old. They're probably like not much different in age.
Yeah,
but he's just fight old.
I just think like Luque. I mean, Luque has shown that he's started to wrestle a little bit more. Obviously, he tapped out Garimbo. I think he took down Buckley in one of the rounds. But I just think Holland's going to be faster than him, and I think he even has a chance to KO him.
Yeah.
I think Holland's pretty straightforward. If the guy's not that much bigger than him, like an RDR, even you saw, I mean, he struggled at points against Gunnar, but he really performed well there. So I don't see the path for Luque outside of like a submission, which is possibility. Definitely. But I think like I put Holland in a parlay when he was minus 205, and I think he's getting to a point now where the line's a bit respectable, where I think like he should be the minus 250, minus 300 range. Like I think Luque has a shot, but I think Holland is like could decision him, could knock him out. So yeah,
I agree. I think Holland has way more pass to victory,
and I think also Holland's like kind of shown now where it's like, okay, no, how he performed against Gunnar shows he cares, and he wins this one. I mean, it's another really big. This would be a big win for him, and it's like there's another kind of build, like a kind of another part of his career where he's had ups, downs, and this could be another rise up. And I think he recognizes that, and also he loves to fight. He gets paid a lot too, which is great for him. And yeah, I think this is going to be a good spot for him.
Then we've got Mario Bautista versus Patchy Mix. Patchy Mix's UFC debut, another big debut right after we had Pitbull. We've had a couple big names coming over. Bautista plus 150, Patchy minus 180. My head is telling me I think Patchy Mix comes in and wins this fight, gives an impressive debut. My head is also telling me like it's so tempting to bet against these debuting fighters, knowing they haven't faced quote unquote UFC caliber talent like this before. And Mario Bautista is like a really good fighter. I mean, he hasn't fought since October.
Aldo, right, Aldo. Yeah, I like Bautista here a lot. I
think I'll wind up betting him.
I think this line should be like a pick 'em.
Yeah,
I don't understand why he's such a big dog. I feel like I feel like Bautista, everyone's hating on Bautista right now because of the Aldo fight being boring, whatever. I don't, to me, like when you're just thinking about betting, like, I don't give a shit if the fight's boring.
Yeah.
And to me, like, I just don't like if Patchy wants to put you on the ground and dominate. Like, I don't think he can do that to Mario Bautista.
It's tough.
I don't think so.
Really
like,
tough.
I don't think almost anyone. There's very few people that can do that to Mario Bautista, if anyone. And
last time we saw like Magomedov, like almost beat him. Like there were some cards that had it for Magomedov. And I don't know. I think if Magomed fought Bautista, not to do MMA math, but Bautista would be a big favorite. And I think Bautista is kind of like another Magomed in my mind, where he can defend takedowns well enough. Maybe you see if Patchy gets on Batista's back, it's going to be a really tough
no doubt
spot for him. But I think Batista is almost good enough to avoid that. And if he does on the feet, I give him the advantage.
You give Batista the advantage.
Yeah, Batista. If Mix does not get on Batista's back here, I don't know how he looks minus 180.
I don't either. And I was glad they brought up in the chat because I was watching. I don't know if you guys watched him betted yesterday. Patchy being very dismissive.
It's weird.
Like literally said, I'll tap him out, and like his coaches, like anyone who taught him jujitsu, literally referred to Mario as a journeyman, like really acting like this guy's like a nothing.
Wow.
And that even was I think I might even bet it before I even watched it, Batista. I bet it maybe after. I bet it either this morning or last night. I put a few in, but regardless, I just think this plus 150 is like, please, like give me.
Yeah.
So like, I think there's a one where he looks like he's minus like 300. Like I don't think I think he could dominate. I think it's possible he when I say dominate, I mean like wins like handily.
I also think, I mean, now it's tough because we know like a betting market with as much money as the UFC gets. It's like public sentiment's not going to really shape it, but the public sentiment of Bautista is this, like people hate him. I think he'll get booed just because of the whole like Aldo fight, even though I don't know. It wasn't great, but Batista's like kind of like, he's like, I don't give a fuck. He's like, I won. He's like, guess what? He's like, I'm going to keep winning. Like my job is to win. I think, there's this huge, like people are so down on him. I'm just thinking to myself, I don't know. I think he's really good. What he did against Ricky Simone, what he did in other fights. I mean, even the Black Shear, I guess you could kind of say
it was
Black Shear and Patchy Mix are very similar, right?
Probably, yeah. Probably.
So that was a tough fight for Mario Bautista, but I think that was it was a last second replacement. He didn't have any time to prep for it.
Black Shear had fought like the week before.
And he probably learned from it. So I think that also helps him in a way. So yeah. And Batista's Factory X?
Yes. No, he
or MMA lab.
He's with like
those MMA lab guys I love because
he's with, like,
it is a lab over there.
He's with like Marcus McGee.
Allegedly.
Sugar. No,
it's a lab over there. Allegedly.
Sugar.
Oh yeah.
Sugar has said for years, like, yo, Batista's like, this guy's really fucking good. Like, don't sleep on him.
I think I agree with you wholeheartedly. I think they should be pick 'em. Yeah, at worst minus 130. Patchy Mix minus 120.
Even that I think is still like I don't see why he should be like any type of favorite.
We got to speed through these final ones because we got to be out here at 2:45.
Okay, let's go.
I think those
we got
that one in the
last part.
Yeah.
Too.
Yeah.
Gastelum and Pyfer. This is one where Joe Pyfer's minus 375. Maybe crazy against Gastelum. I think he could look minus 375.
Low verse
Mook.
Like I think Pyfer's gonna come. I think there's a chance Pyfer comes in here and beats Gastelum so bad he's done. He retires.
Gastelum's never been finished.
I think that could change.
This is 185. Yeah. This is his his comfortable.
Yeah.
This is his not weight cutting.
So I truly think Pyfer could knock him.
So I remember oblivion. I liked Gastelum so much in Mexico City, but a lot of that had to do with the cardio. I still think he can find a way to maybe he gets beat up bad in round 1 and Gastelum just bites down and Pyfer not adrenaline dumps, but just dumps a little bit, and then Gastelum steals round 2, really puts him on him round 3. I took Gastelum for half a unit at plus 310. I like it up to plus 275 ish.
I like it because I have kind of similar thought process to you where it's like chin, cardio, experience.
Yeah,
I think I can't quit Kelvin Gastelum. There's that little part of me that's like, I know you got the goods are inside of you. Like I know they're there, and Pyfer is still. I think Pyfer's good. But so I think the Hermanson fights showed you a lot where he definitely can gas. Like if
True.
he doesn't knock you out, like then what happens, kind of thing. And I give guys like Gastelum Pyfer, like he can grapple, he can do all this, like he can wrestle. I don't know. I just think plus 300. I think this should be more like plus like 180, like 200, like 300 was a big number.
It just Adams. I agree. He is old, but maybe he has
Yeah,
one.
but Gastelum's not even, like he is, but he's another one. I don't think he's that old. He's like fight old.
Okay.
Like I think Gastelum even right now, because remember when he was an Ultimate Fighter, he was like 21.
Yeah.
Like he's been in the UFC since he was early 20s. I bet he's like 34.
33 W,
That's
and
like,
he's
he's not-
34 in October.
That
So
he's
W.
not that old. I knew he wasn't that old.
Yeah, because like
He's fight old. He's been in the.
and
it's
we're
just-
about to talk about a guy that
it's
no
just
one
got-
calls old.
It's just It's just
Merab's 34.
Yeah.
It's some guys go in the UFC when they're like 30. Some get in when they're like 23. Like it just depends kind of your journey.
Like McGee, Marcus McGee.
I mean, Luque. I mean, Luque and Garimbo. We talked like Luque was younger than Garimbo. Garimbo like just started the UFC. Luque's been around for a decade.
Where's Garimbo? Where are you, bro? We need you back.
Yeah.
Then we've got Pena versus Harrison. Harrison minus 650. Pena
Do we do
plus 470. Do you take
we
a
do
shot
it?
at
I actually
Pena?
was. This is the fight I was thinking most fascinating to get like everyone's opinions on.
I think how we do it's round 3, round 4, round 5. Pena.
Because the number for me is
I think we even throw away round 3. I think it's 4 or 5.
Yeah,
because I think like if it was like gun to my head, like no odds, I'd pick Harrison. But this number's crazy.
Yeah.
so the weight cut is something that no people.
I agree.
Yeah.
5 rounds. We saw her like in the older rounds, like
Gassed in the Pacheco
with
fight.
Pacheco, and that was 145.
Yeah.
Like so this, I think this, like to me, this was like a dog or pass.
I
Almost.
think
like,
you're right.
I
about
can't
that.
justify
Yeah.
betting Kayla, and I love Kayla. I can't justify betting
Yeah.
her minus 600,
No.
650.
because she
in this
doesn't.
fight.
I don't know if I bet
have
anyone.
the ground
minus
and
650.
pound, the ground and pound or submission upside that I
Yes.
think that line requires.
Ground and pound a little bit. Like
Not
just the
really.
fact that she has the elbows in the UFC makes me think of it.
See,
But she hasn't used
I
them.
know.
See, the submission I would trust more just if she just like totally overpowers her with
Yeah.
strength. Like if she's able to just like grab her, take her down, like take her back. Like she did Holly Holm. She just like took her back,
Yeah.
choked her out. Like if she could do that, maybe. But I agree with Jet. Like
I think she could do that, actually.
I don't think I think the submission would be more likely because I
Yeah.
think she overpowered her. I think that's how she would get her out of there.
What is she via sub? It's not up yet.
Yeah, it's so early in the week. But I just, I think it's dog or pass. Like I think Pena late too. Like you said, if like those are probably going to be like 25, 30 plus. She's actually more than that probably. Actually, she's a dog. Round 4, round 5 could be like 40-1, like 45-1.
Yeah.
Like I think those are decent lottery tickets.
Yeah. And then Merab versus O'Malley, the rematch, the main event. Merab minus 278, O'Malley plus 225. I think I'm taking a stab on O'Malley. And it's not necessarily that I think he's going to win, kind of like you said, Ev, like gun to my head. If I'm just selecting a winner of this fight, I'd probably say Merab wins again. But O'Malley plus 225 for a guy who allegedly had no hip in the last fight and hurt him in the 5th round, like I'll take a shot.
And the
at
lights.
that.
You have to.
The lights, the sphere, things were
The lights. He said
an
he
inch
was
off.
He said he was off.
just an inch off.
He said the inch. He was the
'Cause the
lights
sphere.
through him. I agree. I agree.
Yeah.
I'm firm. I mean, I put a video out last night. That somebody responded to this morning on the Spinning Backfist account was like, "Why should I listen to this guy? He looks gay as fuck." And I was
About you.
Yeah.
Oh,
I
wow,
wanted to
bro.
respond and be like, I mean, it's Pride Month, so it's. But I
A bunch of gay Jews over here.
Yeah, I forgot about
I
that.
think all of us, yeah.
Sorry, that threw me up because
Is
somebody
that,
we
is
didn't-
that
we didn't
real?
finish
Is
the-
that real?
Tibbs just got fired.
Oh, God.
really.
Tibbs just got fired.
Okay.
Okay, that's crazy. Okay, Tibbs just got fired.
I'm
O'Malley-
right into the pretzel.
O'Malley is younger. He has the KO upside, striking upside. I think the hip surgery before last fight was a big deal. 10 weeks out. I really look at O'Malley and think to myself, this is a guy that should be in the plus 150 range against Merab here. Merab obviously has the upside to just ragdoll him, pick him up, throw him around. But when you watch back that fight, which I did on Sunday night, it was, I don't know, round 1 was kind of close. Round 2, round 3, round 4, I would give to Merab, but then round 5, I gave it to O'Malley. O'Malley's worst day, 48-47. Now you're getting him at plus 225 on DraftKings. I got him plus 245. I don't know. I'm on O'Malley. I just love this bet, and I'm willing to look like an idiot.
Also, the PFL announced the card for South
Who
Africa.
are you on?
Sugar. I bet Sugar
Okay.
already. I think I got 245.
Okay, nice. The PFL, yes, we were. I was going to bring up how Don Davis said they're not going to do Orlando anymore.
Yeah.
Because he said that the fans' experience was not great compared to he thought it would be like the Apex. It was not. It was tough. It was at Universal Studios, so he put out an announcement. They're not going to do it in Orlando anymore. But all of the upcoming fight cards for semifinals and finals are in front of fans all across the country, and they'll do that for the future. And in July
19th,
just got announced in full for the Johnny Eblin headline and Dakota Ditcheva headlined South Africa card.
Great card. Like you said, Johnny Eblin, Dakota back on the card. AJ McKee, friend of the program, also has a fight on the card. Corey Anderson. He's fighting Magomedov.
Ahmed Magomedov. Yeah.
Who we know very well, of course. The entire card is good. Anytime you've got Dakota right into Johnny Eblin, I mean, it's 3 back to back spinning back fist guests.
No, and then before that,
Corey Anderson as well.
Card is Corey Anderson against Goldsov. Corey Anderson, a great member. He showed us his
crazy knuckle.
He has a knuckle that
it blew up. It's like a weapon.
And he hit the table. It sounded like it
metal.
was a rock.
Yeah.
But Corey Anderson, a guy that's just really an all-time underrated fighter. He's been through a lot. And also, I mean, one of the unluckiest fighters ever, I think, too, because that one, he was 15 seconds away from.
He was dominating. He was dominating.
$1 million, and then they were like, "Oh, you eye poked him." Anyways, this fight card, but that's in July. But it's going to be great. Pay-per-view or the championship series, right?
Yeah, and he's fighting the 2024 champ, Goldsov. Very good card. Shout out to the PFL. Of course, as always, great sponsors, the Spinning Back Fist MMA show.
Thank you, PFL. We're obviously very excited for the upcoming.
It's going to be a great season.
Upcoming semifinals.
Yeah. And already has been a great season.
And we're going to see those, and can't wait for the lines to come out on DraftKings for those, so we can get some bets in for those 3 semifinals cards. Can't wait. A lot of great fights.
There we go. Thanks for tuning in.
We'll be interviewing Dalton Rosta soon, too.
Yes.
So keep an eye out for that.
Look out for that.